All right, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the Set Up Forget podcast. We got episode 7, right? So I almost forget the episode. It's crazy. We've literally been doing this for 7 weeks already, right? So now I've decided, I'm like, you know what? Let's change it up a little bit. I keep, bringing on, male traders and entrepreneurs. I'm like, let's switch it up. Let's bring a female trader, a very, very known female trader for passing the big and famous torch challenge, right? One of Q's top female students. So I'm like, you know what? Let me call her out. Let me bring her out here. So the pressure's on. Thank you, Charlene, for coming by.
It is. Thank you for having me.
So what's up? I know we've been trying to schedule this for about 2 weeks now, but
yeah.
We've both been busy. So I mean, you were telling me earlier that you're still a full-time cop, right? So where is it that you police?
Yeah, Miami, downtown Miami.
How's that?
It's brutal.
Really?
It's brutal.
Is it really?
Yeah, we get the worst of the worst, but I'm always hidden somewhere. I try to stay away from all that.
Yeah.
I'm the cop that you see hiding under a tree when you drive by.
Oh, bro. Yeah, she's under the tree looking at the charts.
Yeah.
And then wait, so you do the day shift or the night shift?
Day shift.
Yeah. And then do you trade? Because you were telling me you're a scalper. You more of like a London or during the day?
New York, mostly New York. Because I used to work early afternoon, and now I work early in the morning now. But when I worked early afternoon, I had the whole morning to trade. So I had the morning, and then I would have late at night to trade also. So sometimes I would trade like Asian. But mostly New York, because New York is where the money's at.
Yeah, where the money's at. Yeah, it's like the overlap, and it's just it's where the majority
stock market's open and stuff.
So you're a scalper, right? I'm assuming you learned from Q, so you're gonna be a scalper.
Well, no, Q's intraday. Q's more intraday swing. So I kind of got a little bit from him, a little bit from other people, but yeah, I'm a scalper.
Okay,
scalper for life.
Scalper for life. So how does that affect your work? Because there's a lot of people out there that they're kind of like, oh, I have like a 9 to 5 or I have a job. I can't make time to trade. I want to swing because swinging requires less attention, or I want to scout because I just want to go in and out. Like how does because you still have the full-time job and you're still killing the markets. Like I'm seeing your profits and all that stuff. So how does that go?
Well, obviously it's your lot size, right? The bigger your lot, the more you make. For me, the less time you spend in the market, the better. Okay. That's just for me.
Yeah. For me too. Yeah. Set up forget.
Set up forget life. I'm not about that life.
Yeah.
I have a different level of respect for intraday and swing traders, because the type of patience and psychology that it takes to hold moves for an extended amount of time and have enough confidence in the move, knowing that, listen, it has to play out. If it doesn't play out, I accept the outcome. But as a scalper, like, you kind of have to, you got to be willing to leave money on the table. If you're not willing to do that, then be an intraday trader or a swing trader. But if you're not willing to leave money on the table, you can't trade like me, because I leave tons of money in the market, because I'm willing to take what the market gives me, and whatever happens after that.
Yeah, and I feel like that's where like a lot of like people's psychology kind of hits the fan, because then they're like, all right, now I'm gonna go to the day trader, and now I'm gonna switch to the swing trader. I could have made more profits. It's like, it's not about that. You got to find one that works. You get me? Yeah. So I feel like that's where people like kind of jump around, and they're like on that whole like a year journey trying to figure out what they want to do, if they want to be a scalper, day trader, swing trader. And then you've always been a scalper, right? Like you just got that from the get go. And then
when I first started, I was a swing trader, but that's because I didn't know about scalping. When I found scalping, like a whole new world opened up to me. And I was like, this is where it's at.
That's crazy, because there's people that they go from scalpers to swing traders, and then swing traders to scalpers. And it's just like, it works for everybody. You get me? So like, it's crazy how like it could be completely different trading styles, and then people can, fall within like that lane, how they fit according to the schedule perfectly.
Yeah. I like to say the type of person that you are in life is how you are as a trader. So if you have a lot of patience, if you're okay with certain things, you can be a swing trader, right? But if you're kind of fast paced, you have that lifestyle where you're like in and out of things, then you can be a scalper.
Well, I mean, you are a cop. You are running after people. You're fucking shit up. Okay, like have you like tased the motherfucker? Like,
no.
All right, so little announcement. I'm withdrawing 90,000, right? This is not my whole entire trading account. This is a nice portion of my account that I'm going to be switching over to now Athens, right? They have MT5 and they have real raw spreads. Like I'm telling you, I've never seen spreads like these guys. So what I'm going to do is with this $90,000 challenge, I'm going to be taking it from 90,000 to 200K. So stay tuned for that. If you guys want real raw spreads, make sure to click the link in the description below where you guys can get it with Athens, right? I'm going to withdraw these 90K, flip it to 200. And then after that, we'll eventually withdraw all of my funds. So if you want to see how this challenge goes, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get it.
I've been in a couple foot chases. I've been in a few fights. It's kind of like when you first get on the job, you want to do all that shit because you see it on TV. I want to chase. I want to do that. I want to do that.
It's exciting.
Like, it's exciting. Like, I've been in a high speed chase.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and the car crashed. We got the guys and everything. It was cool.
That's fucking fun though.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, I was actually in training. And my FTO, which was the cop that was training me, he let me drive that day because I was like, you usually don't drive in the first day. So he let me drive, and we got into a high speed chase, and it was the greatest night ever. It was awesome. Like I felt like I was Mike Lowry, right? It was pretty cool. But you want to do that when you first get on the job, but after a couple of years, you're like, it's not the same anymore.
How long have you been a cop for?
6 years.
6 years.
Yeah.
And you're how old?
I am 34.
34.
Yeah, I'll be 35 this year.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. And then so what did you do before a cop?
I had my own real estate company. I had a couple different jobs before. I worked in corrections and stuff like that. So I had a lot of odd jobs trying to find my way pretty much. And that's why trading became like such a task for me because it was different. It was unlike anything I'd ever done before. It was a total challenge. But I knew if I could master trading, I'd never have to worry about a job again. And I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So I could use that money to put towards other things. And
you're telling me you're going to go full time soon? Like you're about to quit your job?
Yeah. I'm waiting to do one thing. Once I do that one thing, I'm gone.
You're not going to say it. You don't want to say it.
Nah, I don't want to say what it is. Instagram will see it. Instagram will see it.
Okay. No, that's pretty interesting because like there's people out there that they want, like all they want is to be a cop. For example, my cousin, I have a cousin that he came from Cuba or whatever, and he was 3 years trying to become a cop. Like he would always fail either the physical or he would fail
some aspect of it.
Yeah, he would fail one of the tests that he couldn't become a cop.
Yeah.
And after 3 years, he finally made it to become a cop. He's as happy as he can be. Now you're telling me that you got his dream job and now you can't wait to leave. You get me? So like that's crazy how it just really comes within you. You get me? Like you to be a trader, an entrepreneur, like it just has to be within you. You get me? You also have to find that fire within you to make that stuff happen. But that's congratulations. Definitely. That's awesome. How long? And then so how'd you come across trading?
Oh man, how did I come across trading?
Was it IML?
I think
everybody comes to
that. it was IML, but it was through a friend of mine that introduced me to it, and then IML. So I guess it kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, I came across it with that, and even from the jump when I first started with IML, I didn't want to take signals. I wanted to learn how to read a chart by myself. I said if I could do this, whoever's on the other end of that table giving me the signal, I could do the same thing. What if this guy gets hit by a fucking bus one day? Now what? So I wanted to do it. So from day one, I just wanted to learn. And when I saw that you can make money sitting at home just clicking a button, what?
Yeah.
All you had to do was read this and be able to do. Fuck that. I'm in.
You're all in.
I'm all in. I'm gonna say less.
So it's been what, 2-3 years? How long have you been in it?
I've been trading since August of 2018.
Oh shit! So about to be 4 years now.
About to be 4 years.
Nice.
About to be 4 years. Yeah, it feels like a lifetime ago.
And then you've never stopped. Like you stayed consistent. Because I know people that they say, oh, I started 2015, but then I stopped 2018, then I got back 2020.
I stopped for a little bit when I was in IML. I just didn't care anymore. I was losing money. I wasn't interested. I wasn't learning shit from them. So I did technically stop for like 3 months, but it always came back. It always came back. It would always be in the back of my mind, like maybe I should give this a try. And then I started getting fed up with my job. So I was like, all right, I need something else. So
you don't like to be a police officer?
Nah.
You don't like it?
Nah.
What don't you like? What do you like?
The thing is, I don't want to talk down on the profession because it's a great job.
Yeah,
it's a great profession.
I have 3 of my cousins. Two of my cousins are cops, and one of them is a detective.
There you go. There you go. See, it's a great job to have, and I'm thankful for having the job because had it not been for that job, I don't think I would have had the finances to fund learning how to trade.
Okay. Because
my first year of trading, like legit trading, I think I blew like 60 grand. Okay. My first year, which was a lot of money. Yeah. A lot of money. That was my savings. That was paychecks, overtime check, everything just gone. But I was greedy. I wanted to make that fast money, you know? So that's pretty much what that was. But at the end of the day, you got to be happy every day going to work. Because if you're happy, it's not work. You know what I'm saying? So not having the freedom to get up and do whatever I want every single day, when I used to have that, when I had my own business, it's a totally different life.
Yeah,
having somebody tell you what time you got to get up, when you can take vacation, when you can get off. You know, people talking to you like shit at work, supervisors and stuff. Like, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm 30 years old. Who the fuck is gonna tell me when I could go on vacation and when I can't? You know what I'm saying? So, and then this type of lifestyle that I want to have, that paycheck isn't gonna cut it. So you got to do something different.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
You gotta make what's the saying? You gotta change things in your life in order for things in your life to change. Something like that. You get me?
Something like that. Yeah, right along those lines.
Yeah, and then what are the top things you like about being police officer? It's pretty interesting. I've never heard a story like this. You know, like so.
I get hit on a lot in my uniform. I think people like women in uniform.
Yeah.
I get hit on a lot, but it was tough for me because I always correlate trading with how it was being a cop, because as a woman in a male dominated field, you're constantly having to prove yourself.
Of course.
You're and then I'm little, I'm a tiny little thing.
Yeah, her feet aren't even touching the ground right now.
I wish they were right now. They're like dangling right now. But being a petite woman, and you roll up on the scene with a bunch of guys that are like going at it with each other. They look at you like, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? Go get your parents, you know? So it's kind of the same with trading, being a woman in a male dominated field and going up against seeing all the success stories in trading are majority men. So coming into this field and trying to make my mark, trying to, gain that respect, it was kind of the same thing. So it was an easy transition for me, basically. Okay. That's pretty interesting because like you say, it is male dominated. There's really not a lot of like female traders out there that I know. I know Jessica Lane, who we were talking about earlier, and probably like another handful that are out there. There's probably a lot of good ones, but they might not be public. But my FX journey,
my FX journey. That's another thing. I wanted to ask you because like since my cousins are cops, right? They're just like like just whatever regular cops. The way they like they try you. You get me? They're very they're very
especially in Miami.
They're very, I don't know how to explain it, but they fuck with you heavy. Yeah. So how does that, and they were fucking with me when I was starting to trade, because I want to ask you, like, how was it coming into this whole trading thing? You get me? I'm sure all your cop friends see you doing this now. So like when I started this whole entire trading thing, my cousins roasting me the whole time. Now they're calling me every day. So how is it for you that you were actually in the police department, like clocking in, seeing all these guys? Like, how was it? Like, were they roasting you? Were they supporting you? How was that? I didn't get roasted at all. I'm very private when it comes to my work. You kind of have to be, because not everybody's your friend at the end of the day. Some people don't like to see you doing better than them. You know what I'm saying? So seeing me doing what I'm doing, I have people that I work with that are high in rank and stuff like that, and I make way more money than them doing way less work. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's not to brag or to boast or anything like that, but in a sense is, I don't really talk about my trading at work with a lot of people. I like to keep that private and separate, because at the end of the day, like I said, everybody is not happy for you. So I didn't get roasted. I didn't have a lot of people approach me about it at work. A lot of people know what I do at work, but they don't ever really approach me to talk about it. It's kind of like they talk about it behind my back. They don't really talk about it with me. And the ones that do approach me about it are the ones that are like actual friends of mine that I talk to outside of work. And those are the only ones that really know about it. But other than that, I keep my business and my work very, very separate. Very separate. That's okay. That's pretty interesting. That's good. I was very like super curious on that, because like I know how they can be. So you're telling me you want to end by the end of the year. I'm gonna get you back on here by the end of the year. I want you to pull up in a Lambo. I want you to pull up in whatever. I'm gonna vlog it, and I'm gonna pull up in my car when I go turn in my badge. And it's gonna be epic. I'm gonna vlog the whole thing, and it's just first of all, no one's ever done that. I can't find any video that's done that, number one. And number two, it's like, look what trading can do for you. You know what I'm saying? You can literally tell your job goodbye and take this and run with it. You know what I'm saying? So if they could see someone like me, a minority female doing it, anybody could do it. So. And you didn't go to college? You didn't study anything? No. I went to college for a year. I dropped out and started my own company. I struggled. I ain't gonna lie, I struggled. Why'd you stop the company, or what happened with it? I was always an entrepreneur. I school just wasn't for me. I
I thought about going back a couple times, but I just didn't have it in me. I had so many goals and aspirations for things I wanted to do, and they all fell along the lines of entrepreneurship. And schooling in that was never my thing. And I wasn't a big fan of taking out a big ass loan just to go to school. I'd rather take a loan out and start a business than take a loan and go to school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And end up doing a job, a 9 to 5. I didn't want a 9 to 5. I wanted to get up every day and do what I wanted to do. If I had to go to school,
that wasn't talking about the loans. I have one of my really close buddies that we work on some businesses that I have, and he has a doctor's in business. He has over $100,000 worth of debt. He worked at a bank, and during COVID he got laid off. So he has now this $100,000 debt
that he still has to pay.
He still has to pay, and he no longer uses that for anything. Like now we created a business now, and now like we're operating and stuff. Awesome. Yeah, maybe what he learned in school maybe helps him 15%, but we could have figured that out like with like trial and error. You get me? So it's like you don't really need like that degree. Like he literally tells me, he's like, bro, I don't regret going to school, but knowing that I could have done everything that I'm doing now without the degree makes him regret that debt. You get me? And there's no way of getting out of that debt. Like that stuck with you for life. You get me?
Biden's not doing shit for that, right?
Biden isn't doing shit, period.
Exactly. Every time you see this guy, he looks half asleep. Like, we should have kept Trump. That's
I know. Trust me, that guy. I have a V12, bro. I just put $100 yesterday. I gotta put $100 tomorrow, bro. Like, come on, you know what I mean?
Crazy.
It's part of the game, but it is what it is. So you're telling me about real estate. You did the whole real estate. Where are you looking to get into real estate now? What is it that you got going on?
Yeah, I just picked up a property in Brickell. I'm looking at another property right now to buy, and then I'm trying to get another like main house for myself. But real estate, I mean, people always gonna need a place to live.
Yeah, of course.
It's just the only thing that I don't like about real estate is it's slow money. Yeah. Right. There's businesses where there's fast money, right, and real estate is slow money. So you got to be patient, right? So real estate for your set and forget, learn and earn. It real estate is for them.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that's money where you just park your money and you just forget it.
Yeah, literally, yeah.
Literally, that's what it is.
Because you just let it. But I mean, like right now, I feel like we're in a position where, like, bro, how much more could you just forget? You know what I mean? Like, you've been forgetting for like 14, 15 years. You get me? So like, I don't know how much longer. I'm entertaining it, but I personally rather myself throw the money at cryptos. You get me?
Yeah.
Like, let's say you throw whatever X amount right now into BTC, or let's just say like the well-known ones, right? Like not even talking about the altcoins, like basic BTC, Ethereum. Like if those things go right back up to the highs, you're making 70-80%. For you to make 70-80% on a real estate, because I own real estate, you gotta at least own the property for like 5 years. You get me? And then obviously you get appreciation over time, but we don't know how much more appreciation you're gonna get. But then let's say something breaks in the house, you got maintenance, you got the AC, you got to do renovation, you gotta do so much stuff. I personally rather go the crypto side. It's a lot more like fast. Right now I'm like 70% in drawdown. Like I'm down bad. You get me? But the way that I look at it is like the money that I invested into the cryptos, I just set and forget. Like for real, I set and forget big time.
Well, like, it's understandable because you still have that mentality. But in real estate, the difference with that is even though it's money that it comes with its headaches. Every business comes with headaches. Everything. You know, there's no business out there that you're gonna get into and be like, I don't want to deal with this. You don't want to be a business then, because business is nothing but problem solving. You're finding solutions to problems every fucking day because you're going to have problems every day.
Just putting out fires all day.
You're putting out fires all day. So, but the upside to that is you don't have to work. You don't have this, you don't have that. You know, all the other headaches that have to deal with having a regular 9 to 5, all that type of stuff. You don't have those headaches. So you kind of have to figure out what's your trade-off. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to have what you want out of life? You know what I'm saying? If you can't handle, tenants calling you or toilets breaking or, banks calling you or this and that, then don't be in business.
You're just not cut.
It's not for you. It's not for you. And it doesn't mean you're not cut out to be an entrepreneur. It just means that line of work isn't for you. You just got to go find something else that fits you a little bit better. And with real estate, it's hands off. I mean, at the end of the day, you can hire a fucking property manager. And hey, don't call me when your toilet breaks. Call my property manager.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I'm saying? You pay him a couple bucks, not minimum wage, whatever it is, and then you go off to Hawaii. Go sip some mimosas or some shit.
Yeah, I like, bro. I have this guy that I want to get on the podcast. He's into real estate. He works with Grant Cardone. He's like,
nice.
bro, I'm in where is he? I think he's in Hawaii. I'm like, bro, I'm in Hawaii for the next 2 weeks. So let me know when I get back. And I'm like, all right, bet. Literally in Hawaii for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You get me? But he I'm probably have him when he comes back. Probably like in 2-3 weeks in the next couple episodes. His name is I'll say his name and then I'll keep it a secret.
I probably know who it is.
Yeah, you probably know who it is. But yeah, he worked with Grant, and bro, the guy has a crazy portfolio, but he has a huge crypto portfolio. Huge crypto portfolio.
Wow.
Yeah, huge crypto portfolio. He showed it to me one time. It's like, bro, I own like 40, 50 BTC, and I'm like, what? What do you mean you own 40, 50 BTC?
And he says it like it's nothing. Like, I own 40, 50.
and I'm looking at his phone and I'm like, shit, bro, I don't even like, you know what I mean? I got like 1 or 2 at the time, you know? But no, I mean, you know, but it's just different approaches, you get me? I am on the younger side, so I'm like on the younger crowd, faster crowd, so I'm like a little more like up to date, I guess, with like these other stuff.
Right.
And right now, like, I just feel like anything that is like virtual on a computer, I feel like it's just gonna 10x in the next 10 years. You get me? Like, bro, you got the whole metaverse. Bro, you log into Instagram right now. I say Instagram, metaverse, Facebook, metaverse. So like all these
one big monopoly.
Yeah, it's just one huge monopoly. They're subconsciously putting it in front of you every single day. So when it becomes the normal, it's like, oh, I've been seeing it, whatever. It's okay. Normal to you. You get me? It's just gonna be regular to you. What do you recommend to people out there that where you were? Well, first of all, talk to me about your journey. What was your journey like when it came to trading? You told me you lost 60K. Was that like right off the bat? Was that like 2 months in, 3 months in?
No, that was over the course of about a year. Over the course of a year. And at the time, that was more than what I made in a year. So that was my savings, everything just gone. But the funny thing is, it doesn't matter how many losses I took. I never really lost faith in it because even though I took losses, I won along the way too. There was an instance where, I don't know if you know this, but I took $1,000 to $10,000 in 1 week.
Oh shit.
Trading like 4 or 5 different pairs. And I wasn't scalping. I was literally catching like 30, 40, 50, 60 pip moves at the time. But I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. It was luck. It was all luck.
Beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck.
That is a real thing, guys.
Because it is. Trust me, it is.
Beginners is a real thing.
I was on a high and I didn't withdraw. I did not withdraw. I left it in there. And the very next week, I blew it.
You blew it all.
I blew it all. I was like, fuck.
But that's when you say that. That's something James talked about, like pretty big, which is withdraw. He's like, bro, withdraw your profits. Just withdraw them.
Yes.
You get me?
Take that shit out.
Yeah, like I mean, I never had a problem with that because like I always had like multiple accounts, so I would have like the higher, lower risk, whatever the case is. So I would withdraw from like one account. You get me? But I'm always big on just like Xing and withdraw when I need it.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a different approach. But so you did the 1,000 to 10,000, and then what happened after that?
Yeah, after that I blew it. I fell into like a state of depression because I was like, shit. I thought, because you're on a high, you're on such a high, you know, because I was winning, and I think I didn't lose at all. I think I was all blues. And so when I blew it, it was like I got brought back down to earth. You know, like, okay, the high is gone. Now I gotta realize what I gotta do. So I just went back to the drawing board, went back to my courses that I had bought, studied, and eventually I started building up consistency, and that's when I discovered like scalping, right? Because like I said, back then I wasn't scalping. I was just catching, big moves or swings. Now, when I realized, okay, my win percentage is a lot higher when I scalp than it is when I hold. I got tired of seeing my wins turn into losses.
How long into your journey is this?
This is maybe another year and a half.
So you're a year and a half. Okay.
Another year and a half into it. Because it took me about a year and a half to get profitable. At that point, that's when I started seeing, like, when I was withdrawing more than I was putting into my trading account. I was actually taking money out of the market. So that's when I said, okay, this is my niche. My niche is scalping. I have a better chance of winning a trade when I scalp than it is when I hold it for longer. And I like scalping because I don't want to sit in front of a computer for hours. I don't want to guess and look at my phone every hour to see what the trade is doing. I'd rather just get in and get out and come back tomorrow and do it again. So keeping it simple. Simplicity is everything for me. So the simpler I kept it, the easier it was for me. And like, I'm a retard when it comes to certain shit. Like, I really am. So it's like, okay, don't complicate it. Just give it to me. Give me the bare bones. Give me the meat and potatoes, and then let me go off and do it on my own. And once I realized how to do that, it was game over at that point.
So it took you about a year and a half to really figure out what you were doing wrong. And then, because like it's what I tell everybody, you're just kind of like on a downfall, like losing. And then it gets to the point where you're no longer losing. You're basically
breaking even.
You're breaking even,
plateauing.
And then it starts going up.
It starts going up. But you kind of have to remember to stick to what works, right? Because my whole thing was like, my goal now, everybody knows, I want to hit 100K day. Raul just hit 100K day the other day. I know. Like,
well, technically 98,000.
Yeah.
He was so mad. Bro. Yeah. He was so mad.
I bet. Because to see the actual 6 figures would have been dope. But just getting it that close is astronomical.
Yeah.
Right. But and it's not so much about the money. It's just the accomplishment of doing that. Because how many other traders are hitting those every day or consistently? Not a lot. You know what I'm saying? So being able to push yourself and challenge yourself is leveling up. Is like I said to Q, it's levels to leveling up. You get me? But at the same time, you got to stick to what works, because I went through I think it was last month or the month before that, where I had this terrible losing streak where I was just taking L after L after L after L. But all of those L's were all big blues at one point. But I was holding, like, come on. And then I got my cheeks clapped. Right? Cheeks clapped. I got my cheeks clapped that whole week. So I kind of took a step back and I said, okay, Charlene, what are you doing here? You're literally like, you're fucking up, because I had like 8K, 10K, 12K, and I was holding it, letting that shit go back down into drawdown, literally, like what happened today with you. Like,
literally, bro. I was literally up to in the morning, 15K, right? And then it just came all the way back, took me out of break, and I'm like, whatever, because my TP was 50K or like 45K, something like that. But like, it just set and forget. Like, it's just because like I've seen this time and time again. You get me? I'm not gonna cut my strategy short, or I'm not gonna second guess it, because
off 1 to 2 setups.
Yeah, because like over the course of 10 setups, I know that 45K trade's gonna hit at least once or twice.
Yes.
And if I were to just cut this trade short, probably the next one is the 45K trade, and I cut it short, then I'm gonna be mad. You get me? I am not mad that I don't care. I really have no care that I got taken out of break even, because it's just part of my strategy. You get me? Exactly. I'm gonna stick to my plan. So go ahead, continue what you're saying.
But just to piggyback off what you said, that's when you become lethal. When you don't give a shit about what the outcome is. It's just, if I win, great. If I lose, whatever.
I don't give a shit.
You literally have no emotion.
Zero emotion.
That's the best way to trade. And it's hard to say like to trade without emotion, but it's like when you're trading and you're stressed out about what the outcome is, you're more likely going to lose, because you're not trading off of probabilities and facts. You're trading off of pure emotion.
Yeah.
I tell my students all the time, if you're in a trade and you start hoping and wishing, get out.
Yeah, get out.
Get out.
Or if you're gonna continuously look at your MT4, just get out.
Get out.
Like,
get out.
Like whenever I do Sunday swings, whenever I do like the chart breakdowns, I'm out here talking like this. It's just like very robotic. It's like, bro, I've done this shit for like fucking ever.
Over and over.
I'm just like tired of doing the same shit. You get me? And that's when you know where you're like how you said, like you're lethal, because you're at the point where you don't care what the markets do. Like, because I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm in a better position than others. I've put myself in this position. I've grinded my ass off like every single day for the past 4 or 5 years, especially with the other businesses that I've done. But I literally don't have to trade. Like, I have funds set aside. I have other ventures set aside where I don't have to trade. Yeah. So what does that do? That puts me in a position where it's like, all right, I'm only going to take a trade if it's worth it. That's it.
Exactly.
Like, I don't have to trade.
You don't have to.
So I can literally only take one trade a week. And if that one trade hits, it's a 1 to 4, 1 to 5 risk to reward. Bro, I'm making 40, 50K. Do you think, ask yourself, do you think if you just make 40, 50K on one trade a week, you want to do it again?
You want to do it again?
Probably not.
No.
Well, if you're a beginner, probably, because you want to 10x it. You're like, no, bro, I want to make the 100K or 200K. And then that's where you completely fuck up and you lose all your money. You get me?
Yeah.
You got to learn how to control yourself when you enter those moments, because if you do this long enough, you're gonna get those moments. Like a Charlene, like she's here. Like, you get me? Like she's living proof. I'm living proof. We're all living proof. You get me? Like, this is a reality of something that could happen. You just have to know how to control yourself when you get there. You're telling me you're high, like when you hit 1,000 to 10,000, that you were like on this high. Literally on the last podcast with the student that I had.
Yeah,
he's gonna buy a challenge now. He's gonna try to pass it and all that. And I'm like, look, bro, yes, you just made, I think it was like 25% for, because like we traded together in the boot camp for like 30 days and he made 22% or whatever the case is. I'm like, look, bro, you're high as shit right now. Don't go with that same energy into that challenge, because you're going to blow the shit out of it. You get me? You're going to come in with like that hunger that you want to do, and then you're fucked. You get me? So what would you say would be one of your top mistakes when you were like in those moments?
Greed.
Okay.
I think greed is the biggest thing that takes people out of trading.
Mm-hmm.
People that don't become successful are the ones that quit. And the ones that quit were the ones that were greedy. Mm-hmm. And the greed got the best of them. And they ran out of money. Because if you don't have money to trade, you can't trade.
Yeah.
So either you run out of money or the habits that cause you to run out of money force you out of the market. So I would say my biggest mistake was for sure greed. And once I became content, because I thought to myself, okay, Charlene, you make this much every 2 weeks at your job. This is how much your expenses are every month. And if you make X amount every day, every week, that's how much extra you're making. So why are you trying to hit a jackpot every day when all you need to do is hit a couple doubles or singles? You don't need a home run every single trade. And what I realized is that you're not going to get a home run every single trade. You're going to have a lot more doubles and singles than you are home runs.
100%.
So be content with doubles and singles and let the home runs come to you. Yeah. Eventually they're going to come.
They're going to come. You're going to hit that right swing.
Exactly.
I like that. I'm like a whole golden section.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm big on analogies. So
yeah, that's really good.
That's
yeah, because like people want to get that home run. Yeah, the home run feels good. Trust me. Yeah. But enough first to second, you're gonna get. You'll make it around base. You got me. You'll make it around.
Yes. You just want to stay in the market. That's what you want to do. You want to stay in the game, not in the market. Stay in the game, right? But if you keep on swinging for the fences every single time, you're going to blow your fucking account. You're going to blow that bitch. And then when it's gone, it's gone. Where are you going to get the money from to get back in and trade again? And here's another thing that I think it's so weird. Tell me if this has ever happened to you. You take a fucked up setup. You blow, a certain amount of a percentage of your account, right? You're pissed off at yourself. And then the next day or the next week, you see the fucking golden setup that you could have taken or you should have taken, and you can't take it. You fucked up on that last one. You know what I'm saying?
It's happened to me so many times. Like with these challenges, I'll risk the high percentage on the week before. Then I'm so down, like in drawdown on the challenge on the next week or whatever. And then I can't take the trade because I have like a very small buffer. You get me?
Exactly.
So like that when I got the hang of like how to figure all that out and like just wait for those right trades, everything. It's just where I am now. It's just
and that's where it boils down to the quality of trade rather than the quality
over quantity.
It's
like
all about that,
bro. I literally repeat every single damn, like, you don't have to trade to be a trader. Like, you don't have to surf every day in order to be a surfer.
Exactly.
Like, bro, like, just you'll get on the when it's time to surf, you surf. When it's time to trade, you trade. It's very simple. You get me?
I got a lot of questions about that, especially when I did the torch, because some people were like, yo, she's a scalper, so it's gonna take her forever to hit the target. And in my head, I'm like, how?
Yeah, what's the story? I don't know the story. I wasn't keeping up with the torch.
With the torch?
I know you won, but I didn't log into the credentials. I didn't do any of that. Yeah. So what happened with the torch?
So basically, you know how it works. How it goes, right? Yeah, two competitors. Yeah, okay. And then you starts off with a certain account balance, and you got to hit the target, just like a challenge account, basically, right? Don't hit the drawdown limit and get it to the target. And I did mine in a week, right? I did it in a week. I think 8 days. I think it's.
What was the goal? Was like
the goal was 10,000 to 35,000.
Word. Okay.
Yeah. I did that in a week. What's that? 25%, something like that. 25,000, something like that. And so, without hitting the drawdown limit, the drawdown limit was huge. It was like 3,500 was like the limit that you can get down to
35%.
Yeah, something like that. So it was huge. So you had a lot of wiggle room, right? So I did it, and I got like kickback from people because they were like, "Oh, she's a scalper. She's not gonna hit the target. It's gonna take her weeks and weeks and weeks or whatever to hit the target."
Fucking haters. We fucking love you guys, but we need more of you.
We need more.
Come on, haters. Come on, haters.
But the thing is, I had I think 2 good trades, like 2 good trades, and the rest were like baby trades. Right? I was catching like 1,000 here, 1,500 here, 800 here, and then the other 2 good trades. One was like 8,000, the other one was 12,000. Right? So, and those were the trades that kind of pushed me over the edge. But it was the quality of the setup, not so much me trading every day. I did trade every day when I did it because that's why I saw the setups. If I didn't see the setup, I wasn't gonna take a trade. So what some people need to understand is, even as a scalper, you don't have to trade every day. With swing trading, you're holding your setups for a certain amount of days, weeks, whatever it is, and then they're like, oh, you don't have to take a setup because you're swinging and you're waiting for the perfect setup. But for scalping, you're in and out of the market, so you have to trade every day to make a profit. It doesn't work that way. It's almost the same.
It's the same concept, just on lower time frames.
Exactly. Exactly. But at the end of the day, you're still looking for a quality setup.
100%.
So.
Yeah, there's a lot of scalpers that are thinking you gotta take 100 trades a day, bro. You take one and you're good. Like you're solid with just one.
Traders that trade like that, I pray for them because it's never gonna work. It might work for you on a short amount of time, but over the long term, it's not gonna work. It's not. The markets are too volatile for that. And your broker's making a ton of fucking money off of you doing that dumb shit. Like, why are you taking 1 million trades a day? All you need is 1 or 2 good setups and you're good to go. And when I did the torch, I took 1 setup a day, 1, sometimes 2, but mostly 1 setup a day, and I was done. I was off the charts and I was done. So what I wanted people to take out of that was, it wasn't to like fucking show off and say, oh, I'm a badass trader. It took me a long time to get to that point, but I wanted to show how simplistic trading can be and how you can legit make a good amount of money.
Make a fat check. No
matter what kind of trader you are. As long as you have discipline, as long as you have the right psychology and you have money, you're good.
What would you recommend to like people out there that are struggling? Let's say they're out there where you were a year or your first year. What would be your top 3 tips you would give them?
Top 3 tips?
Yeah.
Study until your eyes bleed.
Shit.
Because study your ass off if you can, because that's the only way you're gonna make it is to study. Get a good mentor, because how many of us did it by ourselves on our own?
Probably not. Yeah,
nah,
probably not.
Right? We all need a good mentor. Get a good mentor that's actually there, that helps you, and just have confidence. Block out all the noise, because you're going to get haters. You're going to get people that are going to doubt you. You're going to have people that are closest to you, the ones that aren't going to support, your decision to want to do this. And you got to be able to have the mental fortitude to say, all right, thank you. I appreciate your concern, but I got this. And go from there. That's it. And study some more.
Just don't bleed your eyes out. Charlene, I hope to see you here, and by the end of the year, have you back on. Hopefully you quit your job, pull up in the Lambo, show me what you got. Appreciate you having on. Thank you, Charlene, for all the gems that you dropped. See you guys in the next episode next Friday, and thank you, Charlene, once again.
All right, appreciate you.
Take it easy, guys.